Now, the next question to ask is, how much money do you owe on the mortgage? Every house has a mortgage. If you're in foreclosure, it means you have a mortgage. How much do you owe the bank? Let's say you owe the bank $100,000, but your house is worth $300,000. So that would be like 30%, 33%. That means your loan-to-value ratio is 33%. Because once you know that number, no one can take advantage of you. Someone will knock on your door, and if you don't know that number, they'll offer you all cash. They'll say, okay, you don't know your house is worth $300,000, and you don't know all you owe is $100,000 on your mortgage. They'll come and say, oh, we'll give you $150,000 cash. Now think about this. If you accept that deal because you don't know what your loan-to-value ratio or equity is, you're going to take a bath. Because they will take your house for $150,000 and sell it for $300,000. So you just gave them a $150,000 Christmas present. And that's why your mailbox is stuffed with mail every day. That's why you have people knocking on your doors, because they want to come and get that big spread between what you know about and what you don't know about. So the key is understanding your loan-to-value ratio. You have to understand that. So what you want to do, again, first, estimate how much your house is worth. Go around and ask your neighbors. Oh, you must know something about what homes in your neighborhood are going for. And just try to get a rough guess of what your house is worth. Now the next thing, take a look at your mortgage statement and see how much you owe the bank. Now you have to remember to add certain things to that. You have to add to that, when you go into foreclosure, the bank tax on legal fees and this kind of fee and that kind of fee. Now what you owe jumped up to like by $20,000. That's the way it is. That's how it works. But you have to put that number on top of what you owe the mortgage. There's something else that goes on that. If you owe on your water bill, if you have judgments against you, if you have environmental violations, all of those things have to be paid whenever you do something with your house. Whether you refinance it or sell it, those things have to be paid, so that gets added on to the amount you owe on your mortgage. Now, let me give you some examples of why it's important to know your loan-to-value ratio. If your loan-to-value ratio is very low, you don't have a problem. There are people right now on the foreclosure list that owe $20,000 in taxes, and their house is worth $300,000. Usually senior citizens. Now, someone may come to that same person knowing that they only owe $20,000 in taxes, and they'll say, we'll pay off all your taxes, all your past bills, and we'll buy your house. And they're going to give you a low figure because that's how they make money. They're not trying to help you. They're trying to get the maximum amount of money by fooling you, by kind of tricking you into selling your house for much less than it's actually worth. Now, you may have to sell your house. Maybe because of an estate problem, or because family, a divorce situation, or you simply can't handle the payments anymore. You still need to know your loan-to-value ratio, because people are going to come and say to you, you're in trouble, you better do something quickly, work out the deal that's in your best interest. But you have to know what you're doing. And again, the main thing in knowing what you're doing is knowing how much equity you have in your house. Now, another way of looking at it is, if your loan-to-value ratio is very high, there's not a lot that anybody can do for you. If you owe, for example, on a $300,000 house, if your mortgage is $275,000, there's only $25,000 spread in there, you have a whole different set of decisions to make. That means you have to really get that house on the market. You're not going to get a loan when your loan-to-value ratio is that high. At that time, only a family member can go on the deed with you with very good credit. So understanding your loan-to-value ratio will tell you what kind of solutions are available for you. Now, what we want to do is make it very clear that we're providing this information free of charge. We're telling you step by step what you need to do. You can do it on your own. If you already have a lawyer or you have people that you'd like to work with, only know what you're doing. That's what we want you to be clear about. We want you to analyze your loan-to-value ratio and not get taken advantage of. We want you to know that you can file bankruptcy and stop that foreclosure immediately. We want you to know that you should have financial counseling. You got in this trouble. There's a reason you got in the trouble. You may need professional help to analyze your bills and expenses to prevent you from getting into this same mess again 2 or 3 months down the road after something's been worked out for you. Finally, we'll give you a word of warning about what you're going to encounter. There will be people offering you all kind of workout solutions. There will be people that come to you and say, we can refinance you. Guess what? If they can't, you won't even hear from them. They'll waste 2 months of your time, and then you'll try to call them and they won't pick up the phone to take your phone call. What that means is they weren't able to get a deal from the bank and they've moved on to the next deal. In the meantime, you've wasted 2 months and you've come that much closer to the courthouse steps. So be careful of the deal that you accept. We want you to have this information so that you can make informed decisions about saving your house or liquidating it with dignity and getting the most money out of it that you can. Be warned about the different kind of offers. People will come to you with all kind of schemes and offers. Don't delay. Make sure that you get on this right away. If your name is on this list, it means your house will be sold at the courthouse auction in a very short period of time, and they're not playing games. Don't think that somehow, some way, this is going to go away unless you do something about it. Take strong, serious action right now. We hope that you benefited from this and that no matter who you work with, you will be informed in a way to protect your interest and get the most out of whatever negotiated deal you come to.